Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Adila Batrisha binti Nur Azman. So today, my group and I will present our general part of the mini project. So we will represent our private virtual network design architecture in Oracle VM VirtualBox. So how does we know that our server have the correct host name? So first, to verify our host names, we have to execute the basic hostname command on our server terminal. The system output will be our server hostname, which is OS class in this case. This ensure the proper system identification across our infrastructure, separating the server environment explicitly from our client nodes.
So for the group demo, regarding the question for the correct IP address for the server, how to check? Well, by using the terminal, you can go into the nano file editor, which is to the SFTP. You can check the IP address yourself over there. So for our configuration, we check in the nano file text editor. It shows that the IP address for our server is 192.168.1.254, which again can be checked into in the nano terminal through the SFTP. That's all.
Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Ahmad Luman Iskandar bin Ahmad Lutfi, and for my general part, I will explain about differences between static and dynamic IP. Let's go. For static IP, how can we know static IP? Let me give some example. You need to think static IP like the actual permanent home address. It never changes. In simple words, it is fixed. Okay, we know the explanation, and who mostly use it. For example, for instance, server, website, and businesses. But static IP also has a downside. First, it little bit pricey, means cost more, and because it never change. And lastly, it is the way more dangerous. It is way more dangerous. Static IP is easy target for hackers. And we move on to dynamic IP. Okay, so we know that static IP is static, never change. And how about dynamic IP? Okay, when you book a room, a hotel, I mean, you get a room number, and you can check in. But if you book again next week, you will get uh, you will get uh, you will get a completely different room. So in easy word, it means different. So so how do I connect it to dynamic IP? Your internet service provider (ISP) has a big pool of IP address. So when your router boots up, it temporarily borrows one, and when you disconnect, it goes back into the pool for someone else to use. Who use it? Mostly regular household, smartphone, and personal computer. And the most exciting thing. What is the upside? The upside is it is automatic, cost effective, and offers better privacy.
How to know the server can connect to the internet? So we're gonna run a command by typing ping 8.8.8.8. Then if it gets a reply, then the server can connect to the internet.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day. My name is Alina Patrisha binti Nur Azman, and I was responsible for the deployment of the DHCP configuration. First, to explain the usage of DHCP in our network, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol is a network management protocol that automatically assigns IP addresses and communication parameters to devices. in a standard network environment, every device required a unique IP address to communicate. Managing this manually is highly inefficient and create a risk of IP addresses conflict. By configuring DHCP server using the ISC DHCP server software in our Debian server environment, we simplify network management by automating client configuration and ensuring all connected devices receive the correct subnet mask and gateway parameters instantly. For this network setup, our server was specifically configured to distributed dynamic IP address within the dedicated pool from 192.168.1.5 to 162.198.1.10. Second, to verify that our DHCP service is fully functional and running on the server side, we initialize the deployment of installing the core package using the command sudo apt install isc-dhcp-server-y. Next, we perform the interface binding inside the configuration file /etc/default/isc-dhcp-server, where we verify using the cat command that our interface v4 parameters was correctly set to our active internal network interface card, which is ENP0S8. We then find our private network scope inside the main configuration file etc/dhcp-dhcpd.conf, declaring our subnet structure, dynamic range pool, and our static gateway router option at 192.168.1.254. To verify that the service is successful, we execute the system service to check using the command sudo systemctl status isc-dhcp-server. The terminal output explicitly produces a green active running state, which strictly validates that DHCP daemon is completely operational and actively listening to the runtime request without any configuration syntax failure. Next, we shift to the client node to execute our testing procedure and confirm network addressing. Our testing procedure is carried out on our Linux client VM, which is configured to communicate exclusively through the VirtualBox internal network adapter. The testing is executed by refreshing the network interface connection to trigger a fresh dynamic addresses list request from the server. By running the interface check tool using the command ita on the client terminal, we truly verify the delivery of the correct IP address. As proven in our deployment result, the client is successfully list the dynamic IP address of 192.168.1.5, which falls perfectly within our server-defined subnet structure. Then, we cross-verify the local connectivity by running the ping 192.168.1.154 to establish that our cross-node internal private communication are functioning at 100% efficiently with 0% packet loss. That's all from me. Thank you. Next, we will go to our Q&A section.
If two DHCP servers are running on the same network layout, what issue will occur and how does a client choose which IP to pick?
Okay, If two DHCP servers are active on the same subnet, it creates a DHCP conflicts or a run condition. The client will accept the IP address from whichever DHCP server responds the fastest.
And why did you choose an internet network adapter setting in VirtualBox instead of an ATNet or bridge adapter?
Well, we choose internal network because it creates the isolated private virtual LAN that is strictly contained within a VirtualBox. This is because a running from DHCP server on the bridge network can disrupt the physical university or home network by accidentally assigning a wrong IP address to the real devices.
Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Izzal bin Rizal. I'm from S1G1 and today I'm going to talk about SFTP. SFTP means Secure File Transfer Protocol. It is a secure network protocol that is used to transfer, manage and access files over a remote connection. It operates through the SSH, which means Secure Shell Protocol. It encrypts both the data being transferred and the authentication information. It protects the files from unauthorized access and interception. SFTP allows users to upload, download, rename, delete, and modify files on a remote server while maintaining high level of security. It is widely used by organizations and individuals for securing and exchanging sensitive data. Compared to the traditional FTP, SFTP provides stronger security, making it a more preferred choice for modern file transfer operations. And now we're going in depth into the step-by-step process of configuring the SFTP. So firstly, on the terminal, you need to install the SSH, which means Secure Shell. It is a network protocol that enables secure communication between two computers over a unsecure network. It also can be used to secure file transfer through protocols such as SFTP and SCP, as well as for tunneling network traffic. And then if you look at the terminal, you can see until it shows up that it's trying to unpack the SSF file. And then once it's done, you proceed to create a user inside the terminal, like usual, sudo add user and the name of the user itself. And then you fill up the details such as the full name, the room name, and all of that. And you confirm the information is correct by pressing Y. And then you're done by adding a user into the terminal. And then you need to create a SFTP directory. On the terminal, you type sudo make directory for the SFTP specifically, and then after you're done with that, you can go and in depth and configure the SFTP by typing sudo nano /etc/sshd_config. After that, it will prompt up the nano file editor, which you can use to configure the SFTP in more detail. After that, you're done. And now you will proceed to the testing of SFTP. Now we are going to test the SFTP server itself after we configure it. So firstly, we need to verify the SFTP server by typing the command in the terminal sudo system mctl1 status ssh. After that, we are going to find the IP address by typing in the terminal IP id space iddr to find the IP address of the server itself. After that, we connect the server to the SFTP by using SFTP space the username of the user underscore and the IP address. If after that, if you're successful, you can view the remote files inside the SFTP prompt by typing ls to view the remote directory. And you can view the remote directory After that, you can upload a file from the SFTP prompt by typing put put space, for example, test.txt file, any kind of file, but that's just the command. So you should see it will pop up a message showing uploading the file to the home user directory. After that, you can verify the file by using the ls command in the terminal to show that if the file exists after being transferred through the SFTP, and then you can download the file and you can view it for yourself. And then you can make a remote directory by using mkdir for the downloaded file. So after that, you're done. You can exit the SFTP by typing exit on the terminal. That's all.
So, what is SFTP and why is it used?
Well, SFTP is short for Secure File Transfer Protocol. It is a protocol that is used to secure files when during transmission. It ensures that the files are protected from unauthorized access.
So, what is the difference between SFTP and STP?
FTP, it transfers files without any sort of encryption, which can be dangerous. But for SFTP, it makes sure that the files are secured during the transmission through Secure Shell, which is SSH. It ensures that your files and passwords are protected during any sort of transmission.
I see. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Ahmad Lumar Istana bin Ahmad Lufi, and for my individual part, I will present about web server. So let's go. So firstly, we must know what is web server. Okay, my first point, introduction. Usage of a web server. From an operating system perspective, the core purpose of a web server is to listen for, process, and deliver web pages to users over a network. It acts as a background service. Instead of running actively in the program, it runs quietly in the system background, using network sockets to bridge the gap between network hardware and local files stored on the drive. So that is the usage of a web server. Secondly, how testing is being done. To show how testing is being done, we look at the live process management of the OS. By running the system control status command, we can verify that the FH2 is actively running and has been allocated a unique process ID by the Debian kernel. So that's how testing is being done. And for design and after that, I will show you showing web page from the client. So by opening the web browser, which acts as our client application, we will navigate or click http://localhost, so we can trigger a network request. And finally, I was designed a simple web page. So you can see the web page from client and a simple web page design from me. I will show you. So as you can see, this is the how it being tested. The prompt and the testing procedure, and this is example of web page from client. And I do a little bit from and then I get to design my own web page.
What protocol does a web server use?
Web server use HTTP and HTTPS. HTTP refer to Hypertext Transfer Protocol and HTTPS refer to HTTP Secure.
What is the main function of a web server?
Web server process client request and transfer resources back to client.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Syahmi bin Rosdi. I'm from S1G1. So for today, I'm gonna talk about what is the usage of a database. So basically, what is a database, right? So database is a service that can manage, retrieve data, and to store data efficiently. So database also help individual or an organization or some big organization to handle large amount of information accurately and securely. So what is the common use of a database? So common use is like for example, first for data storage. For example, an organization needs to store large amount of information to in organized manner. For example, a university stores a record of course and grades of a student. Second, it also help data management. Enables adding, updating, and deleting record easily. For example, updating a customer contact information in a company or etc. So now I will present a example of a database service to store, manage, and organize data efficiently. So in our project, we use MariaDB. So MariaDB is a service of a database. It's a software. So MariaDB is also an open source and easily to manage in our project. So first, I install MariaDB server package using a command sudo apt install MariaDB server /y. And then after the installation was complete, I enabled and started the MariaDB service to ensure it runs automatically whenever the server starts. So next, I verify the service was running properly using sudo systemctl status MariaDB. After that, I perform database security configuration using sudo mysql _secure installation. During this process, I set a root password and I remove anonymous user, disable remote root login, remove the test database, and then we load the privileged database to improve our database security. Next, I log into MariaDB and create new database by the name baksu_db using create database, then the name of our baksu_db. Next, I create user for the database management and grant the user full privilege on the database. After that, I create a table named employee with 3 fields, which is ID, name, and department. So basically the ID is a primary key. And then to demonstrate that the database is functioning correctly, I insert a sample record into the table and I use the select command to display the store data. So by the time I insert the ID, name, and department, it requires the name and the department because the ID is automatically become for example, I put the name Syahmi and then the ID is automatically the system automatically put the ID. So after that, to show the system has been the data has been inserted, I use select all and show the employee. Then it will show the simple table. After that, just like that.
Tell me, what are the advantages of having a database?
So the advantages of having a database is that you can have a better organization. When you have a database, you can access data faster than usual. Also, you can improve the security. Then the data sharing could be accessed easily and efficiently. And it also can reduce the duplication of data.
Oh, that's very interesting. So, what would happen to a system that doesn't have any sort of databases?
Oh, that. So if a system doesn't have a database, so the data will hard to manage. And then if you want to access some data, it would be difficult because the retrieval of the data can be difficult because if a system doesn't have a database, then there might be some errors or prone to have a duplicate data.